Hello, and welcome to my presentation. My project is titled Grassroots to Hip Hop, an analysis of Black Panther rhetoric used within hip hop culture. My name is Dylan, and this project was part of my honors contract for ENL 170, producing a magazine of the arts, where we develop our college's art and literary magazine, Sea Change, taught by Professor Rebecca Griffin. This project explores the chair as a rhetorical device. My early research showed that there were too many similarities of Black Panther rhetoric and hip-hop, and to narrow my research, I decided to trace the use of the chair as material rhetoric. The chair has a long and interesting history intertwined with the Black Panthers and hip-hop that I'm very excited to share with you. So the earliest picture of the chair I could find was from a 1914 edition of El Paso Herald newspaper. My research led me to find out that the chair was produced by prison labor in Bilibid prison in the Philippines through the 1920s. The Philippines were still under American colonial rule at the time, and tourists would shop at the prisons in the Philippines as they were commonly fitted with a retail sales department. Research suggests American tourists brought the chair back to America, and the chair was a pop culture icon from the 50s into the early 80s, and was used by presidents, artists, musicians, actors, and even featured in the Addams Family TV show. The chair, however, is rooted with incarceration and prison labor that is tied with American colonialism. The Black Panther Party began in 1966. My research focuses on three notable Black Panthers: Huey P. Newton, Minister of Defense; Bobby Seale, Chairman of the Black Panther Party; and Eldridge Cleaver, Minister of Information. Huey Newton was jailed from 1967 to 1970, and Eldridge Cleaver became a notable voice of the Black Panther Party and Black Panther newspaper during this time. The chair played an important role during Newton's incarceration, which we'll address later on. The Black Panther newspaper's first publication was on the murder of Denzel Dowell by a police officer. Following publications focused on police brutality, positive community efforts, and political ideology. The Black Panther newspaper served as an alternative site for the Black Panther Party and Black Power movement during its time of publication, and the chair featured in the Black Panther newspaper acted as resistance toward the oppression of America's Black population. Huey Newton's iconic chair poster was first featured in the second ever publication of the Black Panther newspaper. Eldridge Cleaver idealized the composition for the poster, and the party hired politically radical photographer Blair Stopp to take the picture. While Newton was in jail from 1967 to 1970, the poster and chair served as representation for the Free Huey movement. Once a product of prison labor and incarceration, the chair found its way to speak for Newton while he was in jail. Newton was even afraid of the power the chair had, stating in Bobby Seale's book, Seize the Time, that Newton was afraid to get out of prison due to the poster, and never wanted the poster published to begin with. Seale further wrote that Newton was afraid of how the people would perceive him after the poster's publication, and Newton at the time even claimed difficulty with public speaking. The chair is highly influential and makes those who sit in the chair appear important, regal, and very powerful. The chair is one of the longest-lasting legacies of the Black Panther Party. The chair was so symbolic that while Newton was jailed, the chair was still used in his absence. The chair would be featured in rallies and gatherings, such as the photograph in this slide. The chair was a direct relation and almost definition of Newton's character, and the chair symbolized the excellence that was Huey P. Newton. Newton's poster and writing was in nearly every single Panther newspaper publication, once peaking with a weekly circulation of 300,000 copies a week. The Black Panther newspaper was an alternative site that portrayed both Newton and the chair in such a powerful way. Tupac Shakur serves as almost a bridge for the Black Panther Party and hip-hop culture. Tupac is son of Black Panther Afeni Shakur Davis and was widely influential to the gangsta rap movement and hip-hop culture as a whole. Tupac wrote poetry and rap songs that often referenced the Black Panthers, and his lyrics shared similar rhetoric to the Black Panthers and Huey P. Newton found in the Black Panther newspaper. Shakur is often referenced directly or indirectly by hip-hop artists who use the chair as material rhetoric, even up until this day. Chuck D of Public Enemy is an influential figure in hip-hop and played an important role in its rise to mainstream. Public Enemy, the hip-hop group he was a part of, helped publicize the East Coast style of hip-hop. However, the gangsta rap, or West Coast style of hip-hop, is how hip-hop inserted itself as a mainstream music genre. Artists such as NWA, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, and Tupac were all part of the gangsta rap movement, though Chuck D and Public Enemy still played an integral role in the rise of hip-hop. Chuck D speaks positively of hip-hop and mainstream media, having interviews for Spin Magazine and CNN and other mainstream media outlets. Chuck D often refers to hip-hop as a voice for the voiceless, similar to the Black Panther newspaper. Here is a quote directly from Chuck D stating that rap is Black America's CNN. This quote demonstrates that hip-hop is serving as a new alternative rhetorical site. Here we have the chair being used throughout hip-hop culture. Funkadelic released a funk album, Uncle Jam Wants You, in 1979. George Clinton of Funkadelic is seen on the cover representing both Huey Newton's poster and America's Uncle Sam Army recruitment poster. The album expressed militant and martial themes similar to the Black Panther Party in an attempt to take funk music back from the Blahs, as it said so on its album cover. Through the 80s, a DJ organization called Uncle Jam's Army created beats from samples of the album Uncle Jam Wants You, and was inspired by the album's militant and martial themes. Uncle Jam's Army played an important role in the gangsta rap movement, known for its iconic and unique funk-style beats. Uncle Jam Wants You features as sample tracks in over 200 hip-hop songs. Most notable samples included in the works of Dr. Dre's The Chronic album, Snoop Dogg's album Doggy Style, and even Tupac Shakur uses samples from Uncle Jam Wants You. We also have hip-hop artists such as Chuck D of Public Enemy, Nas, Ab-Soul, and Paris all using the chair. Nas, Ab-Soul, and Paris all use hip-hop as a means of political resistance, more often than not against police brutality. Here we have more hip-hop artists using the chair. Kamaya's unreleased mixtape, Don't Ever Get It Twisted, is a nod to both Huey Newton and Tupac Shakur. Don't Get It Twisted is a song title from the hip-hop group Thug Life that Tupac Shakur was a part of. We also have Kendrick Lamar, Beyonce, and Jay-Z all using the chair on Beyonce's World Formation tour. Kendrick Lamar is known to use hip-hop as a means of political resistance, and he often references Tupac, and his song High Power references the founding members of the Black Panthers and influential figures of the Black Power movement. The song even begins with Kendrick Lamar speaking through a heavy reverb microphone, similar to protests during the Black Power movement era. And also Kendrick Lamar gives nod to Tupac Shakur at the end of his song, stating Thug Life, which was Tupac Shakur's hip-hop group. Jay-Z also references the Black Panthers. Jay-Z often refers to himself as a reincarnation of Fred Hampton, well-known Black Panther member, in his song lyrics, as Jay-Z was born on the day Fred Hampton died. More recently, Tina Knowles, Beyonce's mom, is featured sitting in the chair in Beyonce's Mood Forever music video. The music video itself features themes of race, colorism, feminism, and African culture. And these aren't the only artists or hip-hop artists who have used the chair, but it's clear that the chair is being used as material rhetoric by those who involve themselves in hip-hop as a means of political resistance. A chair once rooted in colonialism and incarceration found its way to be used by the Black Panthers. Newton's iconic chair poster was featured in nearly every single issue of the Black Panther newspaper and served as a symbol for the Black Panthers and the Black Power movement and even the Free Huey movement. The chair, after the decline of the Black Panthers, eventually found its way into hip-hop culture. Those who use the chair often reference Tupac Shakur, who is entangled in both hip-hop and the Black Panthers. Both the Black Panther newspaper and hip-hop act as alternative sites for challenging police brutality and oppression. The Black Panther newspaper, once a voice for the voiceless, continues on through hip-hop as a voice for the voiceless, as Chuck D references. Acting as material rhetoric, The chair is the Panther's longest-lasting legacy and is still being used today. Tracing the use of the chair as material rhetoric is important because of its long-lasting success towards resisting oppression, incarceration, and police brutality. Thank you so much for listening in on my presentation, and thank you, Professor Rebecca Griffin, for all your thoughtful advice for my project and also steering me in the right direction when I needed it most. Also, thank you, Cape Cod Community College, for allowing me the opportunity to make this project happen. Thank you.